Hey, Larry, Katie, and Taylor here. Another week, another dollar, as we used to say in the old NCR days. Well, no, maybe 50 cents now with inflation and tariffs and everything. But first of all, attached to the video will be the email Justin sent out because that's kind of one of the most important things of the week, I think. Is we always hear about all the tariffs and stuff, but you know what? It reminds us to go back to what we did years and years and years ago, where we called to get a price on every item, especially in the print world. If you were doing your job right, you quoted every job and quoted probably multiple plants because you had people that were capable of doing it and they all were good. And you wanted to find out who really needed the work and would give you the best product proposition. But that's one of the biggest thing. Don't trust what's published out there in a catalog or in Sage or ESP. All those things, even we got to look at our ACES catalogs. We tell you by salespeople all the time, update your pricing, because things change, and if you aren't reviewing it and staying on top of your costs, then you're going to start losing GP, and you'll go into the poorhouse, right? But anyhow, read Justin's email again if you missed it. Even if you didn't miss it, read it again because it does give you some good tools or thoughts, precautionary things that you can do during this time of tariffs. We have a couple other things. Katie had an email on Thursday. It is really the webinar from Tony Zayas, AI-driven strategies. So that'll be attached. If you missed it, you can watch it again. Marketing had an email Friday with a new vendor flip book, and it was workwear guide, and it's taking off in the good, better, best theory or statement or thought or process. Tough, tougher, and toughest. So outdoor workwear, good to note. So also, Vision Awards had an email this week. And it reminded everybody that Nurses Week is creeping up on you. May 6th through the 12th is Nurses Week. So if you do GPO or do healthcare, doctor offices, dentist offices, anything where they have a nurse or a care aide, it's going to be their week. Also, Nate had the April Cyber Minute. Justin led the session, and he talked about both personal and business emails and their challenges, their risks, and best practices. So rewatch that if you missed it, and you get ready to practice all that stuff. Now, also we had a thought that we want to bring from our sales onboarding team and sales resource center as far as recruiting and helping you grow and transition your business. It's account scrub reminder. We always scrub accounts when you first join us, and then move on. And we talk to everybody that has some activity in an account to see what's the depth of the activity, who has a relationship, and we have thousands of shared accounts because there's shared relationships. But ensure that your new accounts, now we have a number of overlaps and situations that are happening with existing sales associates who are cold calling or going into accounts and turning in orders, and all of a sudden it's going to hit apps, and we're going to see that there is a not a conflict, but there's already activity there. So before you're going to go out and target somebody or cold call them, first scrub the account or ask somebody here in the home office, Ginger or Kim or anybody on our ASO team, as far as is there some activity in the system already? Because we have had a lot of recent cases where you've been successful and secured an order, but customers are already being serviced by another ASP sales associate. So verify that up front, and it helps prevents overlap, but it also helps us prevent and protect both of you in existing relationships and new relationships, but we can also keep everyone kind of in sync and aligned. So thank you for your help, and don't forget now, In the old days, we didn't have a team to help you, and we didn't have as many people, but we had 8 people around Glenwood, which was within a couple hundred miles. And I always say, if you're going to go make a new account, go in and say, does anybody from American call on you? You know, and if they say yes, I say, well, who is it? Well, it's Gary Scordahl. They said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll go back and I'll call Gary and tell him to you say hi for you and tell him that I stopped and I met you and keep up the good work. Anyway, that's the way we handled it 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and you still can do that. You know, you can talk to but again, virtual, everybody is not doing milk routes. I get that. And then you have print and you have promo, and we got different product ads. I get that. And some of the bigger accounts, you know, they're never going to know if American calls on them anyway. So the best bet is to call into Ginger or Kim and Kim and anybody on the ASO team and say, hey, I need you to check this account. Or let your CSR, your billing CSR know, hey, I'm going to go to this account. Can you check it out for me? And have them check with us, and we'll get a hold of you and let you know how what the situation is. Also attached, we're going to have another little article with a lot of little stories in it, and it's humor is an asset in the workplace. So one of the quick stories is that the high school sophomore was trying to do his best to land a job for the summer, and the interview was going so well. Look here, said the office manager. Aren't you the same young man who was here a week ago? Yes, sir, said the applicant. I thought so. And didn't I tell you then that I wanted an older person? Yes, sir, said the young man, but that's why I'm back. I'm older now. So there's a couple other really good stories in here as always. Hopefully you enjoy them and read them because they're all kind of true, and they all reflect real things in life and how things are for us. But it says, take your work seriously, take others seriously, but you should never take yourself too seriously. And last few quotes, we got a couple of good ones. Henry David Thoreau said, live your beliefs and you can turn the world around. Amanda Gorham says, there is no better compass than compassion. And Bonnie Prudence said, you can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it up again. So, you know, no matter what your age is, whatever, if you got a passion and you got a desire, stay active. Because if you don't stay active, you become inactive. Again, if there's something happening in your family and in your life that you need prayers and thoughts, you have them. The American family is behind you. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help. We're all here and we're all in this together, and we got to keep making it go forward, right? Because we need each other. And 1 + 1 will always equal 3 in our world. Peace and love. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.